Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report, your MLB Baseball preview and prediction for Tuesday, August 2nd. Hope you have yourself a good start to your Ruby Tuesday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by the Raymond Report Sports Betting Tipsheet, which fundamentals are value, percentage play, performance cycles, player availability, and we use a very disciplined money management system. And folks, if you look in the description, I do have a link to an article that will talk about the Raymond Report, and there's also a link to how to avoid beginner's mistake. You want to check out those two links. It'll lead you to the article, and if you want to be a more informed, educated better, check out the Raymond Report Sports Betting Tip Sheet. All right, today is Tuesday. It is August 2nd, and let's take a look at the Sports Betting Index. And yesterday, we talked about the favorites, and I had a great question from one of our members. They said, Ron, you know what? I'm looking at your premium picks, and you got the Yankees for only 3 units, but on the tip sheet, it says Yankees 5 units. Why did you scale down to 3 units and not 5 units? And the reason is, and I talked about this yesterday, anytime you have either the favorites or underdog going at a high clip, and you can see here the last 3 days, I believe yesterday was like 70%, 66.7% of the favorites have cashed in the last 3 days. Now, the one thing you cannot control, you can't control when favorites and underdogs are going to cool down, but what you can control is the amount of units that you wager on, and that is why I only went to 3 units on the Yankees last night, and that's one of the things that the Raymond Report sports betting system is all about. It's not about a tip sheet, just gives you picks and then see you later. It's about a system that really protects the sports bettors, in my view, and we use all those 5 fundamentals that we talk about, and you can find a little bit more in-depth details about these fundamentals just by looking at the link below in the description. All right, so yesterday, 60% of the favorites came in, 6-4. Last 7 days, 61.9% of the favorites have cashed in, and on the over-unders, we are still in the unders, neutral market actually. 45.3% of the overs have come in, 54.7%, and in order to be in a bullish market, you need to be at 57.2, according to our Raymond Report Sports Betting Tip Sheet. All right, game number 1, you got Colorado and San Diego here today. Now, one of my golden rules of sports betting, I don't bet double headers. Just too much going on that day for the manager's control. You don't know in game 1 how many pitchers you're going to use, and to me, it's just not a wise decision to bet double headers. In game number 1, you got Colorado taking on San Diego. Yu Darvish going. He's 9-4 in a year, 3.24 ERA. He's got a 5-1 record at home with a 1.94 ERA. I'm going to go with San Diego in game number 1. Game number 2, a team that I took yesterday was Cincinnati, but I'm going to go the other way here today. I'm going to ride the team that's on a 4-game losing streak, a team that's bearish, and that's Miami. And Miami going to send Braxton Garrett against Graham Ashcroft. Now, if you look at the total in this game, it's 7.5. Anytime Cincinnati's on the road this season when the total is 7.5, they are 0-6 straight up. And the one good thing, though, with Cincinnati, they've been neutral for 18 days. And neutral means either 4-3, 3-4 in their last 7 games. But I'm going to take Miami, and I'm going to go not heavily on them. I'm going to go 54% on the Miami Marlins. All right, Logan Gilbert taking on Jameson Taillon of the New York Yankees. We had a nice premium pick yesterday on the Bronx Bombers. Today, Logan Gilbert, if you look at his record, last 2 starts, he had a tough matchup. He faced Houston in his last 2 games, and he did very well. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs. He averaged about 2.7 ERA. He's 6-1 on the road, a 2.47 ERA. But that's where all the throwing the flowers stop there for Logan Gilbert and the Mariners, because they're going to go with the Yankees. The Yankees just been tough. 16-3 this year at home in game 2 of a series. And Taillon doesn't walk too many batters. The one thing with Jameson Taillon, but he has, lately he's a little bit off. But I'm going to go right back to the Yankees here today, 56%. Corbin Burns taking on Bryce Wilson of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now looking at the Milwaukee Brewers, you can see Corbin Burns 4-1 on the road this season, a 1.57 ERA. He's got a whip of 0.87. I got the Milwaukee Brewers winning at 69.2%. They're bullish 7 days. They're up against a team in Pittsburgh who's been bearish 12 days now. They're on a 7-game losing streak. I'm going to go with the Brew Crew here. I'm going to go 62% on Milwaukee. All right, Jacob deGrom going to get his start today against Corey Abbott of the Washington Nationals. Now, you look at deGrom, I'm going to go 60% on the New York Mets. And for the Mets, 17-6 on the road against National League East Division opponents, and they are now on a 7-game win streak. And Washington 4-23 at home against division opponents. Arizona taking on Cleveland. Tristan McKenzie, not a bad start in Boston the last start, but going up against Zach 10-Gallon Hat. I'm going to take a little bit of a chance here on the underdog. I'm going to go with Zach 10-Gallon Hat. In fact, 7 of his last 8 starts have no decision except for 1 was a win against Washington. And road teams, Arizona's on a 4-game losing streak. And this year in Major League Baseball, road teams on a 4-game losing streak, 31-20 for 60%. McKenzie, again, really solid at home, but I'm gonna take Zach 10-Gallon Hat. I'm gonna go 53%. I'm gonna go 53% on the D-backs. Toronto taking on Tampa Bay. Now Kevin Gausman going for the Blue Jays. He's 0-3 in his last 3 starts, and Toronto 6-10 last 45 days on the road. And for the Tampa Bay Rays, I'm giving them tonight a 47% chance of winning on the Raymond Report for the underdog, and that's pretty good in the Raymond Report system. I got a 59.2% chance for Toronto. However, Tampa Bay 16-7 at home against division opponents, and they are 14-7 off a loss. Give me Tampa Bay tonight with Drew Rasmussen getting the nod, 56%. Philadelphia taking on Atlanta. I'm going to go here with, and I'm just going to flip my page right now, a value play. It's just, sometimes you just got to take the value, and to me, the value is with Philadelphia. Philadelphia on a 5-game win streak. I'm going to go 54% on the Philadelphia Phillies. Detroit taking on Minnesota. Nice win last night. We had a couple of nice 10-inning wins yesterday. One of them was the Minnesota Twins. Chris Archer today. The only thing I'm a little concerned with Archer, though, a lot of walks in his last 3 games. 13 walks in his last 3 games. But Minnesota, 63.7% chance of winning at home tonight. 28-22 on the season, where Detroit 17-36 on the road, and they're 13-27 against B-type teams. I'm going to go with Minnesota. Not a huge play. 56%. Give me the Twinkies. Cubbies taking on the St. Louis Rams. St. Louis Rams. St. Louis Cardinals. Adam Wainwright going up against Keegan Thompson of the Cubbies. Now, Cubbies, they're pretty good on the road against those B-type teams. Teams with a 50 to 59.9 win percentage. They are 10-4 in the season, but the only bad news is they're 2-9 off a game that went under the total on the road this season. I'm going to go with Adam Wainwright. He had a really good start last start against Toronto. Give me St. Louis. I'm going to go 56%. Baltimore, Texas. I was on the wrong side of that one yesterday, but I'm going to go right back to Baltimore here. They're 6-4 last 30 days on the road, and they seem to be a pretty even keel team, right? Neutral last 4 days, 29-21 against C-type teams in the Raymond Report. Give me Baltimore. Kansas City taking on Lucas Giolito and the Chicago White Sox. You got Brad Keller going here for the Kansas City Royals. And looking at the numbers here, Giolito 2-4 at home this year with a 6.2 ERA, and not a good record right there. Kansas City, though, 5-10 on the road against those B-type teams. I'm looking for a better start tonight from Giolito. Not a really high percentage play, 54. And Kansas City, I had him yesterday. Now we're going to go against them today against Giolito and the White Sox. Boston, hey, you got to give them credit. They went into Houston Minute Maid Park, and they got the W last night with all the distractions going on in the background with all the trades. You got to give the Red Sox credit. They went there, got the win against Houston, but I'm going to go with Christian Javier today and the Houston Astros. Astros 15-5 off a loss this season at home, so I'm going to go Houston. I'm going to go Houston 59%. Oakland taking on the LA Angels. Now, Cole Irvin going here for the A's up against Noah Syndergaard of the Anaheim or LA Angels. Anaheim Angels, eh? Old school handicapper right there. That's an old school blooper right there. Syndergaard, one win in his last 8 starts. Not a really good record. LA Angels 6-12 last 45 days at home, and they're 5-11 versus lefties at home. I'm going to go with a little bit of an underdog play here. I'm going to go with Irvin and the Oakland A's. Irvin has won 4 of his last 5 starts, so give me Oakland. Colorado, San Diego, there's that doubleheader. I'm going to take the Padres in game number 2. Again, not a big play, 53%. And your nightcap, you got San Francisco taking on the LA Dodgers. Tyler Anderson, going up against Alex Wood. Two lefties in this one. And Tyler Anderson, 11-1 on the year, 2.61 ERA. And the Dodgers, 22-12 off a win and 14-5 last 45 days on the road. And I'm going to go with the LA Dodgers tonight, even though I took San Fran yesterday. But Dodgers, man, they are solid. Absolutely solid. So give me the Dodgers tonight. And the Dodgers 34-18 on the road this season. I'm going to click save. And there's my picks for today, Tuesday, August 2nd. Folks, you can follow my picks each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. All right, let's get to the trends are your friends, but they don't pay the rent segment. And these are the 80% club stats at atsstats.com. You can see the Chicago White Sox 12-1 as the 160-180 home favorite, coming off an American Central Division opponent the last 2 years. Yankees 12-1 as a 140-160 home favorite, playing on a Ruby Tuesday the last 5 years. The under is 10-1 for the Detroit Tigers when they're a road team coming off a loss in Game 1 of a series this season. And the last one here, the under is 10-1 for the Arizona Diamondbacks as a pick in the 120 road underdog coming off a loss in Game 1 of a series the last 3 years. And Arizona's Zach 10-gallon hat going up against Tristan McKenzie. I do like the under in that one. I think that's a good one. Also, let me go back to that San Francisco-LA Dodger game. I see a 4-3 type game here, and I wanted to put this in there. I forgot to mention that game. When you look at San Francisco at home this year, 7-3 at home, coming off a loss in Game 1 of a series. I think if you take San Francisco plus 1.5, I think you might do pretty well right there. All right, there you have it. That is the Raymond Report Sports Betting Tip Sheet Podcast, Baseball Podcast, for a Tuesday, Ruby Tuesday, August 2nd. Again, if you enjoyed the show, please hit that like button, share this on your social media, and don't forget to follow my baseball picks each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. Cheers.